This is the number one thing that is blocking or actually hindering your progress when it comes down to any of your manifestation. We can say it in as many different ways as we want. However, it can all be reduced to two words: fear of the unknown. Let me explain. Hello everybody, my name is Nea, and on this channel I like to inform you more about my personal experiences with the law of assumption. Obviously, keep in mind that all my knowledge comes from my personal experience and my experiments, which you can even find on my Patreon as extra videos. But let's talk about it. What is hindering your progress in your manifestation? Many people will say it's persistence. However, I have worked with so many clients of mine. It's been like 100 clients every month. I know that the majority of the time, obviously, if you don't feel this way, this might not be your case. However, the majority of the time, people don't get their manifestation as fast as they want, or generally sometimes they don't get it because they are in fear, and they are in fear of the unknown. Let me explain what it means. This can even be applied for a specific person. So in order to change anybody or to change your reality, you must step into a different version of this reality within yourself. It's not very much about only self-concept, but it's really about making a decision, hence an assumption, that you decide is going to be true for you. So let's do an example with creating a business, and then let's do an example for a specific person so everybody gets their own, cup of tea. Let's say, for instance, many people want to become millionaires. Many people want to have large amounts of money, financial freedom, whatever, or they want to build their success in a business or success in general. So they start affirming and changing their thoughts, which they should, and that's the way to go. Keep repeating the affirmations. However, once they start, their mind wants to go back to the predictable. The mind wants to go back to the dominant state. And for the majority of people, the dominant state is a state of lack, of not having. The reason that is because they are in fear. They are focused on what they're losing rather on what they are gaining. And you might say, no, I want that $1 million. I want my business. What are you on about? Do you actually really want it? Or actually, I want to ask you this question: where is your focus? Because sometimes you want it, you affirm. However, your mind, and the majority of people's mind, goes into, yeah, but what if I will lose my job? What if I will lose all my money? I will lose all my stability. What if this affirmation things doesn't work? Do you see that? Do you see what I've just done? You do this every single day. And that is because you go back to the dominant state of fear. What is hindering your progress is fear of the unknown. The mind has a way to always go back to predictability. Let's do the example of relationships or a specific person. Some people are afraid of commitment because they don't actually focus on what they're gaining through commitment, but they are focused on, I'm losing my freedom. I am losing the capacity to do whatever I want. They are more focused on the fear of losing something rather than focusing, I am gaining an amazing person. With this person, I can even build an empire. I can even be happier. They never focus on gaining something. For manifesting a specific person, this is very tricky because people are like, no, come on, I want my specific person. I do my affirmations and all that. Yeah, right? You do. However, the moment that I tell you, make a general assumption about I'm just in a happy, committed relationship and allow infinite intelligence to deliver that person to you, you don't want to do it, don't you? Because you're so afraid that you're going to lose that person. You are so dead afraid of not checking your Instagram and checking their stories and going back to the predictable known of what are they doing? What are they thinking? As long as you will function through fear of losing something, you cannot have it, because you cannot seek for something and have it at the same time. You cannot have something and be constantly afraid of losing it. And this is the reason why you are manifesting a specific person in the first place. This is the reason why you're manifesting money in the first place, because you are afraid of losing. You are focusing on lack subconsciously. It could be for your program, it could be for this or that, does not matter. But you need to stop, because if you understand that your thoughts create, you wouldn't even spend 1 second around a thought that doesn't make you feel good. And the reason that is because if a thought doesn't make you feel good, imagine its manifestation. You wouldn't feel good, right? So my suggestion to you, now that you can reframe a little bit the subject of manifestation, is first and foremost, decide what you want and focus. Instead of the fear of getting it and then losing it, just enjoy the process of having it now, because it is done. And what do I mean by that? Especially in relationship to specific people, because I see this so many times. Like, let's say for instance, and so many of you guys have been through this, so you understand, but let's say that you are manifesting a specific person. You affirm, it works, comes back, right? You have been there, come on. And then so many of you complain about the hot and cold behavior, but here is the catch. The hot and cold behavior is there because as soon as the person comes back, rather than be happy and enjoy the time that you have together, thinking like the person that is already with them, your mind, and don't BS yourself, your mind when you are with that person goes to, what if they leave? What if this doesn't last? What if I'm not enough? Again, you focus on fear. You focus on fear of the unknown, because once you got your manifestation, you want to make sure it stays. And in order to predict the fact that it's going to stay, you go back to predictability. You go back to the known. But the problem of all of this is that the known is in the past. And as long as you will go back to your old self, the past story of you and that person, the past story of you and money, the past story of you not being in a successful business or whatever, the more you will go into the known, the more you will recreate the known, and you will recreate the past, and you know that you don't want to. So in order to do this, you need to stop being afraid of the unknown. You need to take a leap of faith in the imagination. And this is what Neville Goddard used to say, imagination is God. But why are you using your imagination to think about all the most horrible, fearful scenarios of losing something? You need to stop vibrating from fearing of the unknown. Stop trying to predict how a thing is going to be, but start creating it in your mindscape. Why would you be afraid of the future or the unknown when you know that through your assumption, through your thoughts, you can create something that you didn't experience before? You wouldn't lose not even 1 second thinking about the worst case scenario. So look at yourself for a minute and stop BSing yourself, and rather than affirm like a banshee, realize and see the movement of your mind. When you manifest your specific person, are you afraid of losing them? Stop being afraid of that. Stop predicting what is going to happen and start living and enjoy the moments that you have with that person, so you won't lose it, because you decide that. And if you want to do a business, stop creating all the worst case scenario in which you are not going to do it or you're going to fail if you're going to leave the known predictable job that you have. It's about stop fearing the unknown. Fear is the equivalent of lack, and your focus is your currency. Where your focus goes, your manifestation goes. You want to be successful in your manifestation, your mind has to be your greatest tool, and your imagination has to be your divinity. Direct this beautiful imagination of yours, direct this beautiful focus where you want it to be, which is in wholeness, love, beauty. Yes, of course, everything is going to be fine. Everything good comes my way. I am not afraid of staying with this person and not having to control anything, because I know they're already mine. I am not afraid of creating this business because I know that I am a success. I am not afraid of not checking social media while I'm manifesting a specific person, because why would I? Why would I check something in the known when I can go and tap into the unknown and knowing that I'm gonna get what I want, and there is no need for me to check, because I cannot lose. I cannot lose what I already got. If you could just sit for a minute with this statement, I cannot lose what I already have, you will manifest effortlessly and in a snap. So check yourself. What are you afraid of? Are you focusing on losing or are you focusing on winning? And if you are focusing on always winning and affirming everything good comes my way, you wouldn't even lose 1 second of your thought thinking about the worst case scenario. Let me know your thoughts, guys, but this is something that I really wanted to share with you because I feel so many people talk about affirmations, and I will talk about affirmations and assumption and how to manifest and remain persistent, not insisting, but remain persistent. However, and then self-concept is so trendy right now. However, I really feel that we needed to address this concept of not fearing the unknown. Your mind, your dominant thoughts always want to go back to the predictable. Waking up in the morning at the same hour, watching the same social media, doing the same exact thing. That is because it's the known. But as long as you're going to focus in the known and you're going to fear the unknown, you're always going to recreate the same story with a person, with a situation over and over again. And if you already been there and you know you're not happy with it, don't you think it's the time to take a leap of faith and stop fearing the unknown and opening yourself up to the new? I think it is. And the only way to do it is through your focus and your imagination. It's by focusing your attention when you want it to be, which is beyond fear. There is nothing to be afraid because you are God of your reality. You decide. And if you're not afraid, you can't lose anything because you cannot be divided from your abundance, your love. You just cannot. It's only you who is hindering your progress by thinking those thoughts that are rooted in fear, and especially fear of the unknown. Train your mind to step into the unknown, to take those leap of faith into believing, what if everything goes great? In focusing on gaining rather than losing, and you'll see your reality transforming with little to no effort just by this shift of movement of your mind. All right, I hope this video was helpful to you guys to bring a different topic to the table of the Law of Assumption community. Check also my Patreon for extra videos and challenges that I make weekly, and I'll see you very soon on this channel. I love you guys.